Meta's platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, went down for thousands of users yesterday because of what the company called a, quote, technical issue. The outage was resolved within around 2 hours. As many as 500,000 Facebook users had reported issues logging in or accessing the site as the mid-morning Eastern time on Tuesday, according to the tracker Down Detector. Around 50,000 outages reported had been issues regarding Instagram, and another 10,000 for Facebook Messenger, although the number of reports had already begun to fall within an hour after they began. Some users found that they had been logged out of their Facebook accounts. Others got notifications on Instagram that something went wrong in their feed
did anyone
and could
else
not be loaded.
freak out because they got logged out and didn't know their password to get back in?
I just had on my Instagram, it wouldn't refresh, and I went, oh, all right.
I couldn't get in Facebook, and I didn't know my password, so I had to go change my password and do all that stuff to get in, which is fine because it probably was due for that anyway. And then we were eating lunch, and we realized something was going on because all of them were down at the same time, and that was a pain in the ass. I didn't really care, but I usually do stuff around that time. So then once I couldn't get into Pokemon, then I panicked. Because if that ever gets wiped out, that's 7 years of playing Pokemon and the money that I spent and all that stuff to do it and be a level 44. I'd be really mad.
Pokemon is a meta thing?
No, but you can use it to log in.
Oh, okay.
So, it's just all your logins because I can't remember passwords to everything. And I use it to log in. So it's crazy how much that affected everything yesterday. But mostly, we started talking about it. The night before, we were talking about Uber Eats being down.
Right.
The week before, your cell phones were all down. I mean, this seems to me like it's little tests on what they can do and what they can't do and what they could shut down. I posted that yesterday. I said, first the cell phones, then Uber Eats, then Facebook and Instagram and all those. And then somebody laughed at me, and I thought, you say what you want. I mean, it's pretty obvious that something is going on, something's going wrong, and they're getting hit. And it's like when you do one of those tests to link your bank account for something, and they put 1 cent in there just to see, or when a hacker does it, they take 1 cent out to see if you'll notice and see if it works. That seems to me like what's happening. I don't know. I mean, did they come up with a good excuse of why it happened?
Well, technical issues.
Right. Of course.
That's what they're saying.
But a lot of people are saying it's a Chinese cyber attack.
Right.
Oh,
and that's
sure.
and then like Galvin pointed out, we're in an election year. It was Super Tuesday yesterday.
Yeah.
I talked this morning about how Moffitt Cancer Center is among several hospitals that are being attacked in a cyber attack through being held in ransomware. I was reading online there's a U.S. Department of Health and Human Services statement regarding the cyber attack on Change Healthcare. All the Change Healthcare billing has been shut down, which includes Moffitt. And I mean, we're talking up into almost $100 million worth of billing that's frozen right now. These companies can't operate like this, and there's got to be some sort of answer.
But don't worry, we bought a bunch of transformers that are connected to our power grid all across the country from China.
Yeah.
I'm sure us not checking most of them, only checking one, was for the best.
Can I tell you something else I was watching yesterday? And I don't know what's true and what's not. This seemed pretty legitimate.
That
but it
is
was
true, by the way.
No, I know.
Transformers, yeah.
This goes in with that. It was a guy who is a cyber guy, and he was saying that anything that you have that connects to Wi-Fi that you buy that's an appliance. Like I have a refrigerator that connects to the Wi-Fi. This way, if the door is ever open or whatever, it alerts me on my phone, tells me if there's a temperature change or something like that. And it's only one of the 11 refrigerators.
You also have a thermostat that you can control with your phone.
Thermostat, Wi-Fi. But this guy was like, I bought a dry, wet mop duster that has a Wi-Fi on it, and he said it comes from China, and they plant it with things that can access your Wi-Fi. Once you connect it, that appliance can now connect to your Wi-Fi and dig through your personal files.
Yeah, there was a whole thing. They said, why is my Swiffer listening to me?
Yeah.
Why do they know what's going on?
The Roombas were taking photos of people naked and posting it to their Facebook page.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I don't know
I
if you
stood
remember.
over that old room for a half hour.
In Vegas, one of the casinos got hacked through their aquarium because it was Bluetooth.
Was that Caesars?
I don't know. If I remember.
Caesars was shut down for a while?
Yeah. So and they got
I
in.
think it was the Pelican.
And that's how the hackers got into that casino. Casinos are, known for their cybersecurity, some of the most advanced in the world because of all the money, and they got
get
from
you through the aquarium.
Yeah, so it's
nobody
interesting.
expected the aquarium to be an in spot.
There's a name for that certain virus where it's not a Trojan horse, but what they do is they sell countries' products, and the virus just lays dormant until they activate it. Yeah, and it's like red ants, where once they activate one, it hits a whole city.
So,
So,
the best is. When Vinny FBI was on, he said, here you are, engineers are taking down your network, rebuilding the network, not knowing that new network is already infected.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That they're already prepared for what you're going to do, and they're already in your new thing.
Wouldn't it make sense that the government would have to buy products from American companies? Wouldn't that make sense? Like, instead of going and get transformers from China, we don't have any transformers. We don't make any transformers in America.
What's even scarier is China's selling a lot of nuclear reactors to other countries around the world for cents on the dollar.
Well,
and
I'm sure that it was much cheaper to buy it from China because they're like, we'll give it to you super cheap. But guess what? We have in these transformers, and we'll be able to activate.
And then what's scary is you think about the transformers, you think about the cyber attacks, you think about all the Chinese nationals coming through the border, all the Chinese police stations in every country, and the fact that they have shown ties to the Biden family with Chinese funding.
Now I'm worried about the fish in Vegas.
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy.